In June, Amber Heard learned the verdict in the defamation suit brought by her ex-husband Johnny Depp, but her fight isn't over just yet. Despite telling Today that she didn't blame the jury for the outcome, the Aquaman actor's legal team's now switching gears. Surprisingly, a lawyer slammed Heard's team for basing her defense on unrealistic plots from movies. How did the lawyers slam Elaine? What unrealistic plots were they talking about? Keep watching to know more. According to civil rights and trial attorney Krista Ramey, co-founder of Los Angeles-based civil litigation firm Ramey Law PC, the sudden issue of a juror's age indicates one thing: Amber Heard's team has been watching too many movies. For Ramey, this concern about the juror's age appears unfounded because the juror may simply share a name with someone younger than him. More importantly, Ramey believes Heard's team had ample opportunity to speak during jury selection. When I'm questioning potential jurors during jury selection, I research every one of them, she tells Nicki Swift. I look up their names on Google and social media. I'm sure Heard's lawyers did as well. As a result, Ramey continues, if they thought this was not the actual person summoned to court, they should have objected during the jury selection. Ramey also points out that the legal team's failure to address the issue until now means it's no longer debatable. Finally, she points out that failing to bring it up in time means it's considered waived. Concerns raised by Heard's legal team about whether the juror actually received a summons for jury duty via CBS News are dismissed by Ramey, in addition to a Fairfax County juror's badge, which can be obtained from the country's website. When you show up, you must show a proper form of identification to confirm your identity. As a result, she reiterates, there is no reason to believe an imposter gained entry. Although Krista Ramey does not believe Amber Heard's team has a strong case for jury verdict dismissal, the Ramey Law PC co-founder claims their attempt is not unusual. Indeed, she notes that motions to set aside a jury verdict are frequently the necessary first steps to an appeal. Unfortunately for Heard's team, this jury's decision has zero chance of being overturned by this judge. For starters, Judge Penny Askrit served as the 8th juror for the courtroom, according to Ramey. In other words, going against their decision would be going against her decision. Heard's team requests that the judge admit that she made a mistake when her rulings were well thought out. Ramey mentions the judge's decision not to address Johnny Depp's previous defamation trial against News Group newspapers. According to the New York Times, Depp eventually lost that case. However, Ramey explains that Askrit's failure to do so was legal, not only because the verdict was delivered under a different legal system, but also due to the doctrine of res judicata, which prevents result legal matters from being pursued by the same parties. Ramey sees this entire situation as Heard's team grasping at straws. The jury was supposed to be on her side, but it wasn't. In any case, we'll keep an eye on Heard's story. This made social media users troll Heard and her lawyer Elaine once again, and they did that very well, with one user saying, "Excellent analysis." People will no doubt try to discredit this lawyer now. Another added, "Barlow's time is coming to an end. AH is about to drop her." Another stated that, "I believe they are simply trying to postpone the inevitable for as long as possible." One more added, "I don't think EB cares whether it passes or not. They want it out in the open so that the turdettes and bots can have a field day about the injustice done to AH, because she's a woman speaking truth to power." One more stated, replying to the user that, "Oh, and within the first few days, I had AH supporters using that part of the motion against me in a discussion as proof that the jury was tainted." Most people will not buy that, but it's already being misused. Another user said, "That and the fact that they were the other half of the jury selection process. They had ample opportunity to investigate this at the time. Hashtag bye, Felicia." One more user wrote, "Another chapter in her book, still not engaging." Another comment says, "It's a ripoff of the Netflix show The Lincoln Lawyer." One more said, "As contentious as it may be, meh, I believe that was more Amber's influence instructions." Hasn't she already made an accusation based on a movie scene? I'm curious about Elaine, but they usually follow client instructions. Another added, "Didn't Elaine admit in her motion that she understood the responsibility for vetting jurors rested with the lawyers? You don't get to blame others for your own mistakes, if this likely typo even meets the standard." On that, a user replied, "She did indeed. It's part of one of Virginia's resolutions or something, so they can't do anything about it, but they did mention it. It's to make noise for no apparent reason." One comment says, "Her entire testimony was a movie in her head, so it's no surprise that this is what happens next." What do you think about Ramsey's comments? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe for more.